Welcome back. Today I'm going to try to play a rated rapid game on camera, and if you're new here, you may not realize at the beginning of this year, 2023, one of my goals was to crack 1400 rapid, but that's because I was around 1350 at the time. But now I'm below 1200. I'm at 1185. I got 1 point for my last game, which was a draw, which has been the subject of my last few videos if you've been watching them in order, which I know not everybody does. But anyway, I am going to click play. See if we get paired. Hopefully we'll get paired quickly, and then I'll do my best regardless of which color I get. I'll try to keep in mind my clock, try to look for hanging pieces, and look out for all the tactics that I've been missing in recent games. Come along for the ride, and afterwards I will analyze at least just a little bit, unless it's obvious from the end of the game what happened. Okay, I did get paired, and I've got the Grob. That's an actual person playing that opening. Oh, good grief. All right, I guess D5. I don't know how to play against that. It seems really irritating that they did that, but anyway, it's going to turn into something else here in just a second. I think I can leave that there, can't I? And then play like this. If they take it, they didn't take it. Okay, I can't quite pin the knight yet because that pawn is still in place. So I'm wondering if I shouldn't put this pawn right here. I mean, this bishop right here in order to just get it out, or should I leave it where it is? I think I'm going to put it there. And then I can kind of watch these two squares depending on what they do. Then I can play this and be defending my c-pawn. Oh, it's now, sorry, I said the Grob, but the Grob is something different. This was the Bird's opening Dutch variation, according to the opening list up there. I am not familiar with the really offbeat openings. Okay, they took that pawn, which I think I can just take, right? I don't know why I couldn't. I'm not sure why they gave up the knight for a pawn unless there's some trick or trap here, which there very well could be. I'm assuming it's going to be something like this, wanting me to take so that then they can put this pawn up here and attack my queen and my bishop at the same time. That's my guess. And the fact that they're taking their time on it makes me think that they're trying to make sure that that would work. But I think that only works if I were to take that pawn. I don't have to take it. I could just drop my queen back at that point. They didn't. They did this first. But now I can pin the knight with the bishop, which I wanted to do earlier. Let's do that. See how they respond to it. And I still want to get these pieces out in castle, although at this point it's looking like I might need to castle queenside or not at all. We'll see how this plays out, but it looks like, I'm in completely unfamiliar territory, as happens a lot. And I understand that that's one reason people play offbeat or unusual openings. Now, if I take that, they're going to take back and be pointed at my queen, so that's not good. I'm wondering if I shouldn't take this pawn first. But then they can take with the knight. And when they do, then I can take here and they would take there and then I would take that, maybe. Or should I just develop at this point? No, I'm going to take the pawn. If they take it with their knight, I can take there and be protecting the bishop. Oh, they didn't. Interesting. This way they'll still be pointed at my queen, and then I will have to drop my queen someplace where it would be watching the knight. And of course I can't take here because my queen's undefended. So yeah, let's do that. And then when they take, I think I can drop back to d7. Okay, that seems like an obvious take back, and they're taking their time on it. See, mine wasn't obvious. Mine I had to decide whether to drop back one way or the other, or whether to trade. But here I've just taken, they have to take back with one of those pieces. If not, they're in trouble. Yeah, so I'm going to drop back to here. And of course, if they take that, I'll take with the pawn, I think, so that my queen can stay here, maybe. Or maybe that's not important. And I am still a piece ahead because they gave up a knight for a pawn earlier. So I'm trying to keep that in mind as well. I need to get knights out at some point, and maybe not there, here, and then I need to get the e-pawn out of the way. Because of this very interesting opening, development is strange. But I'm going to leave those pieces there because of this. There's some tension here on this d-pawn, which used to be my c-pawn. I am recording, right? Okay. Oh no, my queen. That doesn't do anything, right? That's just a wasted move, isn't it? Especially since I was about to play this. But then they could play that, and then I would take. Okay. Again, I'm watching out for tricks because it is an unusual opening, and usually people who play them know a lot of the tricks, but they might have just been trying something new. Okay, and I think I can just take that. And then the rook is guarding that. Okay, I missed that. All right. That's not a big deal, is it? Does stunt this development just a little bit. And I'm still watching this tension between these two pawns here. I think some YouTuber, chess YouTuber the other day was kind of making fun of beginners because we never take with these pawns. They just sit there and acted like we didn't know they can take. I know they can capture, but earlier my queen was undefended. So see, this is aiming here, isn't it? Or is it aiming here? That doesn't make any sense. See, maybe if I take this pawn, they want to put the rook over, but then I would just take it. So what I want to do is threaten the queen right now, I think, and to get out a piece at the same time. I can't get the bishop out just yet because of this. Maybe I should have played G whatever that is a second ago. I don't know. It's aiming there. Well, now I can get this bishop out, but I don't know if I want to. I do want a castle. If I do this, that helps them develop their bishop, doesn't it? Okay, let's get this bishop out and then castle. I know they've opened up a line for the rook on the F file, but I think I'm still okay. This knight's well protected. I'm not sure what that's trying to do. I am going to castle, which I don't know if that's a good idea, what with all the bishops coming down here. But we're about to find out. That's not going to accomplish anything, I don't think. Okay. Can I put this knight on E5 where it threatens the queen, which will then move someplace? And maybe I can drop this knight back to defend have the two knights defending each other. And this knight's blockading that pawn, which doesn't have any side pawns to help it. Okay, I am also, I am watching the clock a little bit every 2 or 3 moves. Okay, they did move the queen to line up with my knight. So I don't want to move the knight there then, because then that cuts off the defense of my queen. But let's see, and I can't take this pawn just yet. Actually, I could. And if when they took back, I would take here, they would take there. I'm not sure. But everything is defended. So I kind of want to move my queen. But no, wait, then that knight's not defended if I move my queen. Okay, yeah, see, I'm letting my time run now. Let's just do this and see what happens. Is that bishop going to run away, or is it going to sacrifice itself for the pawn? I don't know if it's a good idea for it to do that. Also, I don't know which pawn I should take with if that's the case. See, my queen is still defended, so good take there. Oh, okay. I think that's good for me. If they take my queen, it's defended by the rook and the bishop, for that matter. And then they would get the knight afterward. But that's okay. I'm still up a piece, I think, if I'm counting this correctly. Also, that pawn is undefended from this knight should I ever need to move it. But then the bishop's not defended. Once the queen's gone, the bishop isn't defended on E7. Something else to watch out for. Okay, so my opponent is trying to determine what they should do, but they did the wrong thing because their queen was hanging. Okay, their queen wasn't defended and my queen was. So I think I've won this. Okay, well, I got 9 points for it, 1194. Okay, so if my next win in Rapid, assuming I don't have any losses between now and then, I should get back up above 1200. Carol was from Poland. I guess I should have checked that earlier, which means it's pretty late in the evening there, kind of maybe bedtime. All right, let's look at, make sure I have this settings set, because I know there was a new version of Stockfish. Whoops, what happened? I'm back. Yeah, Stockfish 16 NNUE, which I'm going to take back to the faster version because that NNUE really stressed my computer last time. Save. Do we even need to run the game review? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the bird's opening takes away some advantage from white immediately, and D5 was my best response. Okay, then that's what they're supposed to do. What says I should play G6, bishop to F5, C5. Okay, no, C5's what I played. That's not listed there. I should have played knight to F6 or bishop to F5. Okay, but that wasn't bad. And they played D4, which was, and I should have just taken it then, or played knight to F6 or bishop to F5 again. Okay, but I played that, which still was okay. I still have a very slight advantage. They got their other knight out, which I thought wasn't good, because since this is now kind of a D pawn opening, I thought you don't want your knight in front of the C pawn in D pawn openings. And my best 3 moves are the same as they've been the whole time, and I played one of them this time. That's a relief. That's one of the things I wanted to play, and they definitely shouldn't have. Okay, that's what I thought. That was the mistake, and I'm pretty sure that they never came back after that. When they gave up the knight for a pawn, I thought it was a trick, something to do with this opening, but I wasn't sure, and I couldn't see any tactic if I took the knight, and there wasn't one. That was their best move then. Now I am supposed to take the D pawn once more, or play E6, or knight to F6, but instead I did that, which lost about half my advantage. One of their better moves, and again, I am supposed to take the D pawn. I did this time, but instead of taking it back or playing C3 or castling, I played H3, and it was my best move to take here. And so, yeah, see here, I thought like this was a snap take here, but they took a long time. It seemed like a long time on this move, 23 seconds. which I guess isn't incredibly long, but it seemed a lot longer than normal because when you backing up one, just for your own reference, once you play this, you're expecting this bishop to do one of just a handful of things. One is you're encouraging it to capture here, so you can trade off for it. The other is it's going to run away. So you should know ahead of time what you're going to do before you play that, because they spent 16 seconds on h3. So if the bishop drops back, I think the best move then would have been here. It says no. If I had dropped back, their best move would have been to take on d4, interestingly. Okay, but whatever, you should have known that before you played h3, whether I dropped back either way or capture. But when I captured, they waited and waited. That seemed really strange to me. I assumed taking back with the bishop was the best, and that's what they did eventually. d7 was among my best moves. Oh, also check. I could have checked. And I don't know why I was thinking about I have to protect the knight, because it was defended. And in fact, if they had traded for the knight, that would have helped me. It would have put this pawn over here to support my center pawn. And I'm already a piece ahead, so any trade I think would help me at this point, or most trades. But anyway, d7 was among my best moves. Castling was their best move, and I should have played e6. Okay, I wondered about that. e6, knight to f6, but rook to c8 is right there. Wait, rook to c8? Rooks belong on open files. Okay, I get that. But then if they traded here, which I still thought they might do, oh, then I guess I wouldn't take with the pawn. I would take with the rook. I don't know. It says if I played rook to c8, they would play a3. Okay, well, I was looking at this. These pawns have been staring at each other for a little while, and what I was thinking was, if they ever took it, I guess at that point I could just take back because it was already defended. But what if they did this first, and I took, and then they took here? I wanted my rook to be right there when that happened so that I could go barreling through with my queen and just kind of start chopping off stuff down at the bottom. So that's why I did that, and it says it's not bad. That's what they did, and that wasn't good because of e6, right? I also could have just played f5. I honestly didn't even think of f5 because e6 invites them to play f5. Okay, and that's what they did play, was f5. Oh, and I should have just gotten the knight out at that point. And then when they took, I would take with the f pawn, and my knight would be there, threatening their bishop, and then they would move their king over. Okay, well, I don't understand that. I just thought I should take here. I should not have, I guess. It's not among my top 3 moves, but I'm still -2. Okay. They take back, and I can go to c7, I can go to d6, I can go to d5. They're all okay. Okay, I picked one. Now they're supposed to take this. Really? I wouldn't have thought so, because I'm still a piece ahead. And it says I would take back with my knight when they did it. If they had taken that, which is the reason I moved my rook over here, I was going to take back. That would have been check. I assumed they would take with their queen, and then I would have taken with my rook. Or if they just moved out of check, I would have taken their queen, they'd take back, and I would take back, and they'd still be in check. But I would be undeveloped. I guess maybe that's it. Okay. And that might have been okay too. But they played that instead, and I finally played knight to f6. Okay, good. Bishop to e7 was good. That wasn't great because of oh, I should have played g6 now. Okay, I wondered about that. All right. Castling is up there, though. And I did. And that wasn't good because of g6 again, but also knight to e5 is not bad. Okay. I did play knight to e5. That's fine. And they went here, which wasn't great because of g6 again, and this time I played it. And bishop to g4, which is what they played, was not among their top 3 moves, so I'm up -5 at this point. Knight captures e4. Oh, I could have just picked up a pawn for free and threatened their queen. And it says at that point they would have gone here, and I would have left my knight. My knight's there, and I would have taken. Okay. Well, I didn't see that. I just traded off for the bishop. That's not among my top 3 moves. I should have taken with this one, apparently, with the f knight, but instead I took with the e knight, which was not among my top 3 moves, and I'm now down to -3. But they shouldn't have taken back with the... Okay, that's what I thought. I thought their best move here was to trade, and then I would take back, and then they would take the knight. That's what I was expecting. But they did that, and that was... their queen's undefended, right? Okay. Well, if you stuck around this long, I do appreciate it. That game... I'm happy that my evaluations during the game matched up pretty closely with what I saw on the Stockfish afterwards. There were a couple of moves that were in doubt. We figured out that maybe I should have played those, but it looks like my opponent made the early mistake of sacrificing their knight for a center pawn, which couldn't have been good. I would go so far as to say that they made a mistake playing the bird's opening, but again, I know a lot of people who play those lesser-known openings have practiced quite a few lines, so if their opponents, who are inexperienced like myself, don't respond exactly right. They have some tricks, they have some gambits that you're not aware of. but that didn't appear to be the case here, so maybe they were just trying out this opening for the first time. It does look like my opponent has played a lot of rapid games, and they are in the 90th percentile, which must mean I'm pretty close to the 90th percentile as well. They've played over 1,000 games in the last 90 days. That's a lot more than I've played. All time, they've played 2,500. Okay, almost 2,500. And they've been climbing the whole time, so good for them. The trend here is steadily upward. There have been a couple of down slides, but not as much as mine, so I'm proud of this opponent. Carol 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4. Good job. Keep getting better. And again, this might have just been trying a new opening because they were bored of what they have been playing. I don't know. My own graph for all time, as I mentioned, doesn't look quite as good because there was this kind of slow downward trend until I hit rock bottom here, and the nice steady trend reaching up to my peak. But since then, I've come down. I've been coming steadily up the last few games, which I have slowed my pace. You can see that last bit of the line is very straight instead of jagged. That's because I've slowed down how many of these I'm playing. But I have played, and I've only played less than 500 rapid games on chess.com, according to this. But I am also in the 90th percentile, which makes me feel a little better than I did. But it also means a lot of people probably played a couple of games and lost and then quit the site, left with a 600 rating or something. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.